As the days go by, I grow more and more concerned about the Austin Metcalf case because I want Austin to get the justice that he deserves. And in a just world, he definitely would. Judging by the facts that we have been provided with, by the police report, the arrest report, judging by the facts, Austin would definitely get justice. Karmelo would definitely be found guilty. If you're looking at the facts, this does not look like self-defense, if you ask me. But of course, my opinion does not matter. And the facts in this case might not even matter. Because what really matters at the end of the day is what a jury decides. And we've seen cases before where someone was obviously guilty, but a jury let them off because of some sort of racial or social issues. And that's what Karmelo's family, and that's what Karmelo's little activist group, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to turn this story from a kid stabbing another kid at a track meet, and they're trying to turn it into a huge racial, social issue, a huge debate about race relations in this country. They're trying to turn it into one of those cases. So I'm afraid that there's a possibility that Austin doesn't get justice. And that's the last thing I want to see, is Karmelo walk away free after what he did to Austin. But the possibility is there. And I've had a few people reach out to me claiming that they live in Frisco, and they're claiming that the teachers and the students, they're all being told to keep quiet. And if you look online, there's people claiming that they live in Frisco, and they're all saying the same thing as well. Now, on one hand, it's like, okay, this is still a open, I guess, kind of active investigation. The case is still kind of ongoing, at least. Of course, this has to go to trial. You don't want people like playing a game of telephone and all types of he said, she said stuff going on out there that may mess up how this case plays out. I get it. But at the same time, I mean, think about every time some crazy whacked out kid brings a weapon to school and does something crazy, right? We see it happen a lot in this country. Every time there's hundreds of interviews with teachers, school resource officers, janitors, and boy, oh boy, they interview all of the students. The news will be so desperate for interviews, they will literally interview kids that weren't even there, right? That weren't even there when something crazy happened at their school. So I think it's weird that in this case, they did one interview basically with one student and immediately cut it off right there. Because instead of interviewing a lot of Austin Metcalf's friends that would speak about his character and talk about what a good person he was, instead of interviewing them, they went to go interview some of Karmelo's friends, thinking that they were going to say such nice things about Karmelo and paint him out to be this angel. But the first and last person they interviewed immediately kind of revealed that Karmelo was known for fighting. Do you all remember that clip? Let's go ahead and play it real quickly, just in case you forgot.
One girl that we spoke with knew Anthony pretty well, that she says, and told us this.
I'm in shock because it's like, I wouldn't expect that from him. I only know him fighting and stuff, like, but to take someone's life is just like a different level.
So it's like the media was trying to do their job at first. They were going to do the interviews that they usually do after a tragedy happens at a school. But oh boy, this girl said the wrong thing, and they immediately cut it right there. All right, no more interviews. We don't want any more students speaking out. Usually we'll freaking talk about this for days on end. You'll see hundreds of interviews with all types of people, but we're going to cut it right there. We're not interested in interviewing any more kids at any of these schools. We don't want to talk to anyone that was there and saw this. Nothing. Now, since when has the media reacted in that way to a story like this one? I know it's obvious, but I almost have to say it. If this was the other way around, if Austin had killed Karmelo, they would have interviewed every single person imaginable, and they would have talked about this till the end of time. So why is it that in the year 2025, right, when we're all connected on social media, when there's a camera rolling from every angle 24/7, why is it that we're just not hardly hearing anything from people who are actually there? Now, you got a lot of fake people online claiming that they were there, posting videos of their firsthand accounts that we know are blatant lies because we read the arrest report. But why is there this huge absence of anyone talking about this that was there? And it's like, I get it. You know, we don't want you to say too much, but at the same time, I don't get it. Because speaking the truth is speaking the truth. And law enforcement does not have the authority to just shut everyone down and stop everyone from saying anything. Yet it seems like the students at these schools are kind of scared to speak out. It seems like there's no, what's the right word? Because usually the media would be enthusiastic about going out there and getting these interviews. They would be enthusiastic about speaking to everyone. There's no effort there. There's almost an active effort to avoid what the media would usually do in this situation. So usually the media will be all on top of trying to interview everyone. They don't want to talk to anyone all of a sudden. So all of it is just really weird to me. Because look, for some of you all, maybe you don't follow cases like this that often. Maybe all of this is kind of new to you, right? But for me, we talk about stories like this all the time, and we don't see stories like this be handled in this way. Like, there has to be an active effort to silence people, and I feel like it has to go beyond just telling people, hey, please don't talk about this, just don't say anything about this, please. Like, part of me wonders if there's even a possibility that some of these activist groups or someone anywhere may even offer money to some people not to release this video. Don't release that evidence. Don't speak about this. Don't speak about that. And this activist group has connections to law enforcement, police chiefs, DAs. I'm sure they have connections with people in the school system as well. You bet your ass they do. So I'm worried that there may be pieces of evidence that we will never see because there's an active effort here to silence people. And I think that effort may be coming from multiple directions. It might not just be the police telling, hey, don't say anything about this case. I don't know. At the same time, maybe some people are afraid. They don't want their kid to end up like Austin. They know they're dealing with irrational people, so they say, hey, just don't say anything about what you saw. Don't show people the video. Because like I said, it's the year 2025, folks. Best believe there were cameras going all around that place. people with their phones out, from the kids to the parents. Everyone's got their phone out. And we ain't seen anything yet. I don't know. I've never seen a case like this one just be so locked and sealed tight to where we're just not hearing anything from anyone that was there at all, for the most part. And not only that, we're not even hearing the usual like sob stories of, oh man, we miss Austin, like from classmates and stuff. We're not even seeing those type of news segments. It's just a obviously a active effort to kind of keep some things on the hush here. And we know they wouldn't be doing that to protect Austin Metcalf or his side of things. They're doing this to protect Karmelo. And if they're going this hard, it just makes you wonder, what could they be hiding? What else could they possibly be hiding here about Karmelo? To the point that they just shut everything down. You got that one like 15-second interview with his friend, mentioned that he's known for fighting, and bam. Oh, never mind. We can't talk to any of y'all anymore. You might say the wrong things about Karmelo. We don't want people knowing that about Karmelo. We don't want people talking about what happened in February. So even the school, we know for a fact that the school district has been withholding information that local media outlets reported on at the beginning of this story, and then all of a sudden they just act like it never happened and it disappeared because maybe they got the marching orders that, hey, you can't release this information about Karmelo. We got to make this kid look like a good kid. You can't be telling people about skipping school and fighting and bringing knives and getting suspended. So yeah, folks, I am very concerned because I know this group that is backing Karmelo. I know for a fact that they have connections. I've laid out some of those connections. There's more connections I haven't talked about, and there's more that I don't even know about. So I'm worried about things from that angle, and I'm also worried that they're going to try to just pull the race card so hard that somehow the jury feels as if they can't find Karmelo guilty. There's a lot of different things to be concerned about when it comes to this case. And I do find it concerning that there's like no one talking about it. And it's like people, even, listen, cops are always going to tell you, hey, don't talk about this or don't talk about that. People talk about it anyway. But in this case, everyone is like, their lips are just sealed, zipped shut. So I'm wondering, like, have these people been threatened in some way? Some of them at least? I don't know. But I guess maybe one day we'll find out, or maybe not. Maybe everyone will just forever just be totally silent about what happened at that track meet. And, you know, just hearing the word track meet, it just lets you know that, okay, this happened around a bunch of people, right? It's not like this situation happened in front of 4 or 5 people and they all are like kind of just being quiet about it. No, this happened in front of a lot of people. There were a lot of people there. No one interviewed. You're not seeing the news down there with their cameras interviewing someone that's breathing hard just after they got done running a lap. Like, yeah, and then I looked in the bleachers and there was all this commotion. They're not interviewing the parent from across the track that's like, well, I was sitting here watching my granddaughter compete and then I saw there was a fight over there and then there was blood. You're not seeing the usual, you know, weird news interviews at all. And it's just so freaking bizarre when you really think about it. But there's so much going on in this case that you haven't even had time to process what happened on day one. But if you go back and look, it's clear that this story is not being handled in the way that other stories are being handled. There's an active effort just to not talk to anyone. Don't talk to anyone involved in this case, right? But hey, you guys let me know. Have you noticed this? Down in the comments below. Let me know what you think about all of this. If you like what you heard, if you support these videos and you would like to support the channel, you can do so via Cash App or Super Thanks. Always greatly appreciated. And you can also support the channel for free by liking the video, sharing the video, and all of that good stuff. But with that being said, I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.